Welcome back to another live trading session on this London Live. We are looking at after this London Live with this NY Live. Welcome, and hope that you guys are ready for another trading days. Here is we are looking at for potential some entry opportunity here in this market. Hi coach, how are you? I'm good, thank you very much. I hope you guys are ready here for another trading day. Welcome. Afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Ready? This is another entry opportunity here that we are looking at for a potential trade entry, and we can see the market, and I have opened and we have taken. If you looked at our previous trade, it was little upside move, and finally that trade was taken. And that's why guys, I really highly encourage you to go through to join the group, as with this trade that we have opened during the London session. If you look at during the London session that we have opened, and I have moved the stop loss, and finally we have successfully closed, because this is a very high probability setup and I didn't want to miss that trade. And I have updated the group for placing the stop loss. If you look at here, that you can see, you can stay joined now for the group for update, and also let me know, give me a feedback in our previous trade that you have opened. I've shared the premium group link here. For those who are following along the trade, I highly encourage you to stay connected in the group, as the previous trade that we have opened during our London session, there was a false breakout and we moved the stop loss little higher, and that has helped us to entirely close the trade with the full profit that we have opened. Now, this is you can see here. Okay. And with this is a significant drop here that you can see on XAUUSD. And with this drop, the market, if you look at that, has dropped again, and now it's on a pullback. So this looks bearish. Let's see that where you can look at. But by the way, can you please let us know in the live chat, in our previous trade that you have opened in London session, have you closed in profit, or you didn't move the stop loss? I've moved the stop loss, and I have also informed the group, because we know that this trade is going to be high probability entry, but just getting some liquidity sweep here in that area. Ready? I'm waiting for some of the members to come up. So I'm still here. Long-term target 37003500. Okay. If you guys are here, make sure you like this stream already. Okay. So you're ready here? Say yes if you're ready. Thank you. That's cool. Now let's begin. Let's begin the analysis. Okay. Bond ready. Very good. Thank you. Well done. Well done. We want to take it to the next level now. Okay. If you look at here, we are looking at this market structure already. Three fundamental aspects of the market that we are looking at here in this live session, guys, to trade the market. And at the same time, we are looking for an entry. Okay. First of all, we will be looking at the technical analysis. Fundamental, which is the data coming up in 20 minutes. We'll be discussing on that, how it might be influencing the market, and also the sentiment. Sentiment is equally important as the technical, equally important as also the fundamental. So three of them has the equal weight. So we can say 33.333 on and on. Can you take it to any end? There's nothing end, right? It's just the end. So if you look at that, we'll be taking each equal portion of the analysis. Okay. Now, this is technical, and also we'll be looking at now, first of all, technical. Now, technical without question, as we have our previous session live that we have done, I would consider it as a sell market, right? You can see that this is sell market already. Where are you looking at? This is selling market. All right. So this is selling market, and you can see the market is in a sharp downtrend that you can see here in this market. And because it's in a, if you look at that, in a downtrending market that you can see off this level, this is where pretty stronger move from here, followed by this pullback. Okay. Now, this is a pullback here that you can see, right? And with this, it was in fact form a bear flag. Now, our previous trade, we have opened two positions in our previous live, if you look at. And with this two position that, and with this two position that you can see here in this market that has opened in our previous live. Okay. These are the two positions that was here open. The market has gone to the upside. Depending on the market context, it is what trading is, guys. Sometimes we need to adjust the trade. And I have updated the group that the market is potentially being if you look at that, the market is potentially being in a liquidity sweep. So we have looked at that zone and we have opened that position, moved the stop loss for some liquidity sweep, and then it reversed back, hit our profit target. We have taken the profit, and I have already shared the same trade. Now here I'm looking at here in this market, if you look at that on gold, this is a bear flag now at the moment, if you look at. Okay. Now in that bear flag, if you closely look at what you can see that from here, which has dropped to that initially significantly from this high to the low, and the market has, this is now has created that pullback that you can see here in this market. Now from the 4-hour perspective, that this is still in a downtrend. If you look at that you can see it's still in a downtrending market. Now, because the market is still in a downtrend, there is a, if you look at, if you look at, this is a void here, right? And with this imbalance in the market, we want to see the market is eventually retesting that imbalance for us to be able to look for again another sell. And I will be only thinking of sell here at the moment until we see a complete change of trend here. Okay, so far the market shows that there is a higher possibility to remain here bearish. Do you think so? Let me know in the live chat. We can look at that. If you look at that, this is a bear flag, and off this bear flag the market is trying to break that low here. So this is the technical. Now we will be looking at from 3 pillar, right? 3 is a very important number. You see there are 3 lines here, 3 chord, right? And in a triangle there are 3 sides, right? If you look at the Nikola Tesla, once he said that if you want to know the secret of this universe, then think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So his three favorite numbers was 369. Now who is Nikola Tesla? Is the great, if you search for the greatest inventor of all time in the human history, he and Leonardo da Vinci will be, either he or the Leonardo da Vinci will be at the top. So what does that, in fact, what he said, that you need to pay attention, right? But he said that if you want to know the secret of this universe, then think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So what does that mean? We discussed in our previous live as well. Okay. It means that when you understand these 3 aspects of this universe, energy, frequency, and vibration, you can take a piece, something, and then you can modify it accordingly when you need it. I need to learn how to do it. Okay. Is what we are looking at. Now, in the market also, there are 3 aspects in the market. Okay. The market structure, which is showing you the directional bias. Liquidity, which is that helps to leave the market. And the price action. Okay. These are the factors that you need to look at when you are looking at. Now, let's see here what kind of market structure we can see in this area. For the directional bias, honestly, I learn trade plus science plus history when I'm checking this stream. Thanks for the feedback. And in fact, it is needed. Okay. You can go to the, for those who are really hungry to be a successful, successful trader, successful anything, this stream will give you a real gist, guys. Keep in mind that. You see, either you are becoming a trader or becoming who you are. It's here. And this is the purpose of birth, right? Who want to be born and then die without doing anything. So good to hear that. Good to see that. Not only science, trade, and history. You can learn here. Science, because I have also learned a lot. You can learn technology, you can learn spirituality, you can learn here trading. Okay, you can learn also biology, physics, chemistry sometime, and as well as music, right? It helps you to relax. Now here is, if you look at that zone, this is the resistance line. We are looking at that level. Thank you. Okay, so before we look at that entry here, we would like to see how the market is reacting, and then we can look at the price action confluence, spirituality also. Yeah, absolutely. Self-development is what really makes you ahead of everything. Okay, self-development is treasure. If you pay attention closely, the only thing that remains with you is your developed self. Okay, this is today you are here, and this is tomorrow you are here. Everything what you have today has gone with time. The only remain is you, who you are. So it's the most important part of everything. Okay, because the world is your mirror, and no doubt about it. When you become who you are, it exactly reflects for that who you are. No doubt about it. And no one even can manipulate it, because it's your reflection. So you need to work on your reflection, and it has to be reflected back to you. So this is where you are, guys. Keep in mind that. And at the same time, learning to trade, becoming a profitable trader, which is the key. Okay, now here we can see there is a very sharp drop from this high here. Patience is key, and we are looking at to trade based on patience, so that we can look at the next level of entry here in this market. Now, if you look at that XAUUSD, we are looking at here an entry. We see there is a drop back below here. Now, also I would like to look at the market from the perspective of the trend, right? And also we'll be looking at what is happening here on the calendar. So there are, if you look at that on coming up, core PC price index and preliminary GDP. All right. So if you look at that core PC price index and preliminary GDP, two vitally important important high impact news coming in 7 minutes time. And with those news coming up, that we will be looking at, and I will be waiting this next 7 minutes to the entry for if you look at the next 5 minutes to 7 minutes for an entry. We're waiting for the market to show up. And in the meantime, let's look at what is happening with the current geopolitics, which is very important to look at if you see the market currently at. So is there any latest sentiment? Now we will be looking at with the fundamental aspect. If you look at that coming up on core PC price index and preliminary GDP, with dollar index also influencing gold price and other price action that you can see here. So the forecast here on core PC price index is 0.3%, and preliminary GDP is the forecast is 2%. The forecast is 2% here. So let's see that how far it's gonna get to that level, and then we will be looking at based on that entry. Okay, so which is on that price index. Now going to the, if you look at that here in this news context to see that where things are heading in terms of the sentiment. So there's just latest orange folder news. Let's look at what is going on. Here's Iran missile fire towards Kuwait was intercepted. This was an egregious ceasefire violation by Iran. US Central Command on May 27, which is almost today, Iran launched a ballistic missile towards Kuwait that was successfully intercepted by Kuwaiti forces. This egregious ceasefire violation by the Iranian regime occurred hour after Iranian force launched 5 one-way attack drone that posed a clear 5 one-way attack drones that posed clear threat in the war of near the Strait of Hormuz. All drones were successfully intercepted by the US force. Okay. By the US force, which also prevented 6 drone launch from him. This is a significant escalation, and I think you know that that means the things is not that what we see, that it's not slowing down, right? Iran say US strike are continuous violation of ceasefire. So Iran's Khamenei accuses enemies of foreign division within the nation. Enemies of fostering division within the nation. Iran's Khamenei accuses enemies of so if we look at this one, I will be really paying attention again. I think the ballistic missile was destroyed, right? Anyway, I think these are some of the factors that was on the previous deal about the ballistic missile and also the uranium. So anyway, what you can see on the oil price that going on. If you look at the WTI, that you can see this is WTI, and that's directly reflecting in the market. This is what I was saying, you guys. The missile fire, I think that news came around 1.5 an hour. That means this event happened probably within 4 hours, could be potentially. And this is the 4-hour candle, right? Oil started to pick up. So that means I will be keep still my trade on gold. I will keep that selling. It's a selling market, and you can see that there's a lot of missile being fired and also drones. So the market on oil is still to remain the possibility that you can see here to remain in the longer term picture bearish. Therefore, you see that we can look at all angles. This is what I was telling. This is called the perspective. News in 3 minutes. Okay. News in 3 minutes. Yeah, I'm not entering yet, but we will be waiting for the news. Thanks for update, guys. This is a great way to look at the market. Now I'm deleting all those levels to see here that this is the resistance, and this is another level of resistance. And with this movement, we could see the spike here. Okay, and this spike can give us possible liquidity sweep, and so we will be looking at sell. Are you thinking of selling or going to go long? This is a falling market, right? All right, so we'll be looking at here. waiting for that move. And the previous trade that you have opened here, thank you very much, sell. Okay, how many of you are? I have moved the stop loss, guys, well above, and that has given, and finally to take that profit. 100% sell. Okay, how many of you sell? Okay, 100% buy. Right, anyone different opinion? Can share your thought. And in the meantime, also I see that, make sure you like this stream, smash it, and also I post the link below this video for the premium group that I'm trading. You can get into that for any trade that, if you look at our previous trade that we have opened during the London session, okay, that trade that we have opened, okay, was successfully closed because I have posted an update, and I believe you guys were there. You have looked at the update, because sometime some trade, if that the market is not moving, we might need to keep running. And if you are in the group, you are easily can get the update here. So you're just looking at in this area already. So let's look at here. What's happening here? Let's look at that. Calendar. Okay. So 0.2%, and if you look at that, .2% core GDP, and if you look at core PC price index, you're looking at here 1.6% preliminary GDP. So we are, let's see that how does that on the DXY, and we'll be waiting for a few minutes for the market to show up, for the price action to show up. If you look at that on DXY, okay, DXY, we see that there's what I think that this could be creating a deeper pullback here on DXY that you can see from this high. Let's delete those levels here. And with this movement that you can see on DXY from this high, this is the daily price action, and I think this might be creating a potential and opportunity to go long again. That can happen already. So if you look at here, and with this support that you can see, this is an inverted head and shoulder, and with this inverted head and shoulder, the market has tested this support and created this move, which is showing that this market is remaining here bullish. Okay, let's see that with this pullback, we might see that the market to remain here bearish. Okay, now that being said, the market has picked back to the upside here. Which is a significant pullback here. Okay, now with an initial drop, the market has reached that level. So there is an order block that you can see here in this area. And I think the market is now potentially retesting this order block. This is the 5-minute candlestick pattern, which is the new candle. And this move can create a possible opportunity for us to go for another move. So therefore, I'm looking at here for these entries shortly, Are you guys ready for that entry? Ready? So, okay. Here I am looking at sell entry of this level. Stop loss above this high here, above this previous high. So it will be little wider for us to be able to look for a bit of breathing in between. And I'll keeping target to this support here. I'll keep little lower here so that we have some room for the market to breathe in. And here the target will be 195 pip, which is way more, and I'll look at this level here. So I'm looking at this short trade on gold, keeping stop loss above this high. So if you look at that stop loss at 4406.31, and I'll set my TP target below here at 4375.57. And I believe you guys are there. Make sure you like this stream. Thank you. As I open the sell of this, the market may try to bounce off this level here. If you closely look at that, you can see, and from this high here, that looking forward to see the market to show its downtrending movement in that area, and we're looking to see the price action to break that low here to create a new lower low. Log in the okay. So here is the move. This is the pre news move, and the market has had significant initial move back to the upside here. Now this is a sharply falling market, so I'm not looking at to go for any buy trade, so that if the market is going here, welcome. Depends on what time frame you are looking at. Look, this move that you can see, I have to move my stop loss a little higher. I'm going to set TP at 4411. Stop loss 4411. To increase little risk, but that's fine. I'm still passionate about this trade. So I moved my stop loss at 4411.39, like the previous one. Move the stop loss at 4439.19, and so we still have our previous stop loss in place, but I moved at to 4411.39. And the reason is that this market is in a sharply downtrend. I'm looking forward to see a potential rejection of this market to back below, as it is a long-term downtrending market here. Just few pip above than what we have had in the past, and we can set TP lower once we can see the market has shown enough rejection needed. And in the meantime, we will be looking at hearing some move here in that area. Now we can see some kind of rejection here in this area, that the market may here get that back below to come back to the support area that we are looking at for another wave of drop in this market. I've been holding to the upside, so you're looking at, depending on what time frame you are looking at. The overall trend is bearish, but I think it will pull back to some more. Yeah, so this is what I'm looking at here, guys. When the overall trend is bearish, will not be trading the pullback, will be trading the trend. And the entry for me, because the entry is different what is given here, I'm putting my right entry here. I believe it will be also there. 4391.97. So if you look at that, is where the market has reached to that key zone that you can see, getting some reaction of this, and so the only logical way that we can look at this trade is to remain here bearish. Now, okay, so you can see the market in this area here is reached a new higher high. We'll be holding on to that. If it pull back, I'll get out, but I see it is going straight up. This is overall downtrending market, and because it's an overall downtrending market, we are looking at for this price action to remain here bearish over the long term. So it's sort of looking to see to create a potential selling pressure of this level that you can see. And wait to see where it is heading. If it go for another wave of breakout that can happen, and can move further here. Probably we have to re-enter again if you're out, but I'm still on. Might see that the market just will break this high, grab the liquidity, and then will reverse back for another move. But the moment it reached that liquidity zone where okay, stopped out, and I will be re-entering again, and I'm very much that the market could reverse here back for another wave of drop, because it's a, if you look at that, this is highly bearish market. So should I let go for another 180 pip? Now if you look at that, I think this is just a move that without volume. I don't think that the market is going to have a move such an against the trend with strong volume. Rather, that could be the market is, now you can see there is a complete fair value gap. Okay, so this move can return any point. I think that this is a completely no volume move that could eventually revert. So this move is entirely upside. I wouldn't be surprised if the market went for a deeper pullback. It's a matter of inhale and exhale. Yeah. This is what you can see. But this is a very unusually bounce that most likely could see the reaction back again. Okay, so if you look at that, that move that you can see of this level, weekly market also shows that, daily also you can see that movement. Okay, here is the market is moving its back here to this previous resistance level, which is the resistance, and this is a very unusually going here back above in this falling market, right? Which is straight going back to retest this level and could create support. If you look at the turning resistance approaching that level, and this is if you look at that, this is a strongly falling market, but it's just buying pressure that coming. Do you think it has a volume? Both DXY and oil price drop. So oil price, you look at, it's on a range bound market that you can see here on, and with the XAUUSD oil, if you look at that, euro dollar is moving up here, GBP, and I think this is a potentially a rigorous pullback. What do you think? So it's highly downtrend market, think buy. No, absolutely. It's a highly downtrending market. I'm not looking for any kind of buy, but we will be re-entering again as soon as we can look for, we can see that selling. This is a one single move that you can see here that's happening, and that move could bring that market back below to the support area. There is 3 minutes for this 1 hour candle to close, right? And with this 3 minutes close, the market is reversing. No, I don't think so yet. Yeah, that can be. I'm not saying no. We can't say no in trading. This is where we need to accept the fact that anything can happen. But for me, I'm not going to take any reversal trade thinking the market is going reverse, so I'm going to buy. Okay, there are two things. One is that the market is reversing, so I'm going to buy. The market can reverse, but I'll still be seller because it's a falling market. Okay, this is what we are looking at here in this area. You can see from here, it's a pretty stronger move that you can see in this area. Okay, now let's see that here where the market approached. The price has reached that zone, and we are looking to see where the market is, how the market is doing in this area. Still maintaining that upside, and this is very, very unusual to see. And you see, it's almost to the order block. Okay, now that move is almost to this order block, and Okay, I'm looking for here. We'll see that how many pips stop loss here that you need to place if we look for possible short move. This is still a falling, still a downtrending market. We'll be looking to see the market to here to go little. This is a very one sharp move back to the upside. Here you can see that in that area. Okay, putting this trade with the tighter stop loss is where the key points to look at. Here is 220 pip with the tight. If your account is small, that I would recommend to take this trade because little bigger stop loss, but the risk is same. The stop loss little change, but the risk is same here. I'll be targeting to the here to the neckline, and 1 hour move that you can see. If this market reverse it, we could see that a straight drop again back below. So this is the primary the strategy that I'm using. If you look at that 215 pip stop loss, and we will be targeting here for 385 pip for potential move back below already. So I'm placing my stop loss at 4456.66 and take profit target setting up at 4395.85. All right, so I open sell here, and this is a very important price action point because there is a massive false breakout here. And if it successfully break below, we will be able to see that the market to drop down to 390 pip nearly. If it successfully drop, we'll be taking this trade for another wave of move. If you look at the 1 hour here, this is 1 hour market structure. This kind of candle that you can see on the 1 hour, for me, it's very unusual drop, very unusually move, but that can give a momentum here because this market, if you look at that here, has created that pattern that you can see here in this area. So if you look at that movement in this market structure, we are looking at for this price to eventually break that low, and so if the market breaks that low, we will be looking at this market structure to show its pattern down here. Okay, the market has reached a well wider here back to the upside. Thank you very much. We can see some rejection, which is good to see that the market slowly breaking that low. Looking forward to see the market to eventually cross that low here, and then to prepare for a possible down move. If the market successfully break that low, we could see that continuation here back down below. Ready? It's cool. Let's look at here what the market might be doing. All right. Okay, thank you very much. Welcome. If I retry to time reversal back down. Okay, so here is, if you look at 30 minutes is pull back, reverse to an uptrend. Yeah, what you can see here in that area. If you look at that, this is a 5 minutes bearish engulfer. Now the market trend is this move that you can see here is a very unusually move back to the upside that you can see, and that can if it is a strong liquidity trigger, we could see the market to revert again back below to the support area. So you see the market is coming to that. Okay, so let's see that where it is heading here back below. You're earning some profit, and like to see that moving back below successfully. If it failed to create a higher high, we could see the market to drop down to create a new lower low here. All right, this is a new smoke that you can see of this data, but eventually could break that low, that to create a new lower low. So you're looking at in this market, so did you take a trade? Yes, I'm on a trade, and I will use you guys also there. Let me know how many of you have opened the trade. Thank you. So what is happening with the current context of the geopolitical situation here? Okay. Cool. We are looking to see that here. Okay, now here the market is in this area where there is a support that you can see of this, and with this movement, if you closely look at, now there is a doji. If the market in this area get rejection of this level, the price action might be here potentially to come down here back below. We'll see that where it is heading. Already, so there is gap open, and with this gap open, the price action is potentially to here break that low, which is very important to look at. We're looking at that here. All right, and once we see the successful break, we could see a complete downtrending move here to come back below to create a new lower low. Okay, we see that here. Getting some reaction down, which is good to see that. From this high here, if you look at that, this is, you see that resistance, which is very important to look at, and that's what you need to see, where the price action to maintain its downtrend, to break that low here to this support area to create a new lower low. Okay, so if you look at that, this is a lower time frame market structure that you can see. There's another narrow doji being formed, and back to back to 5 minutes so far showing that there's a narrow doji that might take this market to come back below. All right, and we'll see that where it is heading here in that area. has to be to the downtrending move here, that if you look at in this area. Okay, if we see another flight, that could happen, then probably systematic move. See how far it goes. So with the current systematic here, what you can see, just I'm looking at the current development with the geopolitics and sentiment. So yes, Iran missiles fired towards Kuwait was intercepted. So which means that the war has again scattered to the Middle East, and it has scattered to the Middle East again. Okay. I am willing for 30 minutes red candles. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, we are looking at here to see that potentially the market to have a rejection here back below. All right. And the current 5 minutes candle, if we see that it's getting a rejection, we could see the market structure to remain here in the major direction of the flow, which is very important to look at to see that where the market is eventually heading. So see that if the market is successfully breaking that low, if it breaks the low, you could see that continuation here, and potentially this is a false breakout, and then the market is straight come back. If it reverse off this level, then the market might be coming here to this support area. And in the meantime, traders, if you're enjoying the live session, make sure you like, and also currently premium group is open for limited time. For those who have joined, you can see all those updates sometime. If we need to move anything, TP stop loss also I'm sharing in the group, along with also hundreds of members trading with me every single day, all those trades that I am opening, including all the trade ideas that I'm sharing. So premium group is open. I put the link below this video, and also here I am looking at here sharing that link in the chat group, where you can use that premium group link to join there to stay connected to the best trading education, and also to grow as a trader. So there is another long doji, and this is a 30 minutes candlestick pattern that you can see closing, which is after this massive move. It's a potential slowdown here, and if this is closing as a doji, that means the market has comparatively slowed down in this move that you can see. Okay, of this level, this is the zone that you are looking forward to see the market to maintain its bearish movement that you are seeing here in that area. Okay, getting that here, and morning. And you can see the market of this level has shown some downside momentum here in that area, and we can see the price action to create that move, which is very important to look at, right? And yeah, let's see that how far it goes, and we will be looking at. And it is important, guys, that always pay attention, stay connected. You see, there are many stories that we have heard when we were young, right? Success stories, how you can become a profitable trader that can have a big impact, right, in your life and with others. But now the success story is fading away because the opportunity is less. Why? Because it's very hard to, you see, there was a wave of people was just pursuing something greater, but now you will encounter countless obstacles just if you say that I want to do something independently. How can you do something independently when you are walking backward, right? Now, if you look at, there is a lot of opportunities made if you look at the 1990, okay, the dot-com boom, people were very passionate about getting into the internet, and it was a dream. It was a very holy place to get into the internet so that you can create a .com that will give you some kind of creative opportunity to build yourself, right? Because everything we create inside the mind. Now, things happen that if you look at your personal experience, you see that you have lost interest on many things. Am I right or wrong? And that's very detrimental. 3 to 5 to 10 years, there will be a lot of obstacle coming, and prepare yourself, learn and grow, consistently keep learning so that you can stay ahead in your progress. One of the best things that I found in trading is that it doesn't require any age, right? You don't need to be any aged to be a trader. And still it's developing, it's growing. Good gold trade, thank you very much. It's developing, it's growing. That's awesome. You can see the market slowly breaking that low here. And we want to see that break below. This is where you can see the market slowly coming for this movement. And we are looking at for this price action to eventually cross this low, creating into lower low, and then to create coming back to this support area here. Okay, getting the reaction here. We're looking to see the market to come down back below. here we are. I'm running some profit here, and with this trade, the second one, and I'm looking at here from this entry, we are 150 pip running profit, and you would like to see that the market to show that further downside. If it successfully break below, it can come well below here, and that can create complete break below. It can entirely break below here to this support area. If it successfully changes the trend, we could see the market to turn down here back to this support. From the, if we look at the 1 hour here, this 1 hour market structure is, if we look at from this high, it has shown that there is an initial reaction of this high. Sometimes the market moves very fast. It's really hard to sometimes create that downtrending move. Four, 4, 6, 2. Here we come. Thank you. Okay, with this breakout, this support and resistance, we can see the market has tested this key level here, and we are looking at here on this. Okay, we see some kind of rejection coming here, shows that there is a potential for further escalation of this downtrend, right? That's what you can see. The market is here showing that there is a potential for further downside here in that area. And let's see if the market, escalate to the upside, then there might be another wave of bounce. But what I think that the price action may here remain bearish. What's your bias here? Let me know in the live chat here. What's your bias here in this market on gold? Do you think it's gonna breaking that low, or it's gonna bounce back again to create a new higher high? Down? Okay, down. Anyone else in any direction? What's your bias on that? Bearish? Okay. Anyone else? Okay, anyone else different directional bias? Okay, getting some reaction here that you can see of this level, and that's a significant progress that you can see of this level, getting the reaction, and we could see the market structure to create its bearish momentum here back below, and that could bring that price. If we see successfully breaking below, we could see the rejection, or it is just a correction where you will see that where it is heading back here in that area. Let's see that where it is heading. Let's see that how far it goes. Four, 5, 4. Yes, I'm short. I'm holding on little bigger profit target, but because if this market successfully drop, you could see that there is a significant drop that we could see the market is heading, and we could see the market significantly coming back here down below in that area. We'll see how far it goes. Okay, there's another narrow doji, and we are looking at here in this market structure to show its downward bias back below to the support area. There is a breakout guys. Again, move up. This might be another wave of false breakout. What do you think? $4462. We'll see that where it is heading. We are almost nearly the 1 hour candle close that you can see, and this is the 1 hour doji that you can see the market is creating. Now we still have another 10 minutes for this candle to close. It has initially tested the lower part of this move, therefore looking forward to see that the market to retain here in that area. Reach to our entry, and off this level that to see where the market is coming. Here is the market is creating that pressure back below, and would like to see that continuation. I'm still hopeful that the market will be eventually will break that low here. And if you look at that 1 hour price action closing here as a red bear candle can create selling pressure. In that case, you could see the price to come back again to this support area, as it is a falling market, as it is a downtrending market. Patience is needed, guys. Patience is needed, okay? And why you need that patience? It's very important to look at, guys. Patience is needed because if you look at that, patience is the greatest virtue, one of the greatest virtue. Because when you're patient, you are actually training your brain to become a master. This is what the most lacking factors that every human has now at the moment. Okay, we are scattered away from the right track, and therefore to restore your right track, the first step is to be able to be patient. I can guarantee you, those who are watching here, if you can sit down 30 minutes without any distraction, you can achieve anything if you can do it every single day. Okay? If you can sit down 30 minutes without any distraction, still you can do anything. So what causes you not to be able to do that? Pay attention to that. And when you do that, you're gonna change your life and also entirely change your life of others. So what is the benefit of sit down on the park, on your bedroom, on sofa, without watching TV, without doing anything? Still, it will repurge your entire brain and nervous system, and you become new again, regardless of anything that is happening outside in the world, on movie, TV, news. Will not happen anything if you can do that. And then you can stay focused, follow your task, right? Follow your, sometimes called the dream, goal, set. Okay? There is a subtle difference of many things that sometimes we don't understand, right? Subtle difference is that follow my path, follow your path. Look same, but entirely two different direction. So make sure you follow your path by knowing what you want. To do that, make sure, because you are here trading, I believe that it's your passion. Make sure that always stay focused. Now let's look at here in that area. What we can see the market is doing. This is where the market at this level, and with initial break of structure with the 1 hour candle close, technically I'm looking at, guys, now again here in that area, the price action in this zone here, we are looking at a very, very important candle close, 1 minute. It's potentially closing as a doji, and with this closing as a doji, the market might be creating possible downtrend. Let's see that. How many of you think that it's gonna coming to the downtrend? I'm starting with a pool here. Okay, what is your bias on today on gold? In this 1 minute, you can cast a vote to see that. So here's the move, and here's I have shared you a pool. You can cast a vote there and let me know here, guys, what's your way. Share your thought and ideas. Let us know which way you think that the market is going to be heading. Okay, 1 hour candle close with a long doji. Now this is where the things will get interesting. If this 1 hour doji not being able to, we have a very wide stop loss, but I think if it fails, we could see entire break below here. Okay, I'm excited to see the market potentially to return again back down below in the major flow, in the major direction of the trend. And how many of you running this trade here with me? Say yes if you're running. It's important that you guys also together running it. Are you winning, Doc? Expecting to win. Okay, sold AUD USD. Gold and AUD USD usually move almost in the same direction. What's happening with the AUD USD? Okay, AUD USD at the moment shows that bearish move of this level that if you look at, and with this movement or AUD USD maybe here that to come down. We could see that here where it is heading. Okay, here is the move that you can see the market is slowly showing its pattern back, and let's see if this market successfully break that low, we could see that entirely coming to the order block. Thank you. Are you winning? We are. Thank you. And in the meantime, how many of you running this trade? Let me know in this one here. I would like to see the current geopolitical sentiment, and time to time I always keep eye for what is happening at the moment in the current. There isn't any new outcome here or the new sentiment, but I think there is. So we looked at this one here earlier. There was a missile fired near the Kuwait and it has been intercepted. Okay, so you can see initial shows that there is a break below initially that might here. So whenever the coming down, we see there is a pullback, and it might change the trend here. going up, and then if you look at that rejecting below with the 1 hour price action, again narrow doji, I think that it has a very higher potential for to revert here back below. 4 hour price action candle close with a pretty long wick candlestick pattern, and 4 hour market structure shows that the market has in this downtrend created another green bullish candle, which is little unusual for me to see that candlestick pattern has created, but I think that might gain that momentum again back below. Again reach that level, again reach that area. We are looking at here for this market to show its price action, that you can see the market has reached that entry area. So it will go down, has reached that order block. We have seen some upside here, and after that the market slowly in profit. 4462. So the market at entry, again we can see there is another wave of bounce, and I think it was necessary for the deeper liquidity gap. Now I'm keen to see the market to reverse that. If it happens, if you see the market reverse of this, it's gonna potentially to break well below. Okay, the price has come back again below our entry, and I'm there below near our entry. What's happening? Something happened, guys. Something very unusual happened. The massive breakout. What happened? Okay, so what happened? WTI. There must be a breaking news here. Deal have been reached. This might be a very big move. So Donald Trump got it. Okay, so we see there is a breakup structure on oil. Look at that on DXY. Had also a break. Now, the market is really, if you look at that in this area, has from the daily, the market has moved a lot. Okay, without any right trigger that you can see here in this area. this is a massive liquidity sweep, guys, and this is a strongly falling market. Yes, this is a very important zone that I will be also looking to see what is happening. And okay, off this level there is a fair value gap that you can see in this area. Gold might drop from this level. Okay, let's see. I'm looking for another entry. How many of you want another entry? Say yes if you want another entry. One trade can give everything if we can catch in the right time. Quality day. Okay, how many of you prepared for the next move here? This is a very unusual move that I have seen in the market. Okay, say yeah. Why? But now I wouldn't still consider it any kind of reversal. Though daily market has moved a lot in this downtrending from this support area here. But let's see that here from the weekly, from the 4 hour, it's pretty stronger bounce that you can see. The market reached that 4 hour 20 EMA. All right, so the market reached that 4 hour 20 EMA. There's a fair value gap. The market might try to cross this fair value gap, and it's going to a very important, what I would say, that overbought area. Don't you think it's an overbought area? It's a very stronger overbought area, and the market reach that. This is a, if you look at, this is an imbalance in the market. We'll move up faster. Can expect a wild return. I'm still not opening, just looking to see what we can expect here. Deal reached. Someone said that deal reached. The news has that deal reached. Okay, volatility. US and Iran reach deal but need Trump's final approval. Okay, I will not be entering here now because this deal news was quite a few, really big, quite a few days. So let's see that what is happening. US and Iran reach deal but need Trump's final approval, official says. Scope: US and Iran reach deal but need final approval, official says. That's why the market is not following any kind of grammar that you can see. So I will not be entering here because this might be a very major news. Okay, because if the deal reach, then potentially even end of war, right? If end of war, then I will not be surprised to see that it's the starting of a new uptrend here. What do you think? Let me know. Price action 4462. So better in this kind of situation, wait for the final news outcome. All right. And $4,300 level yesterday. So yes, yeah, okay. Now look, this market, as I mentioned earlier, we trade the technical and we don't know, you won't be able to know what is coming up. Now we don't know that there is a deal, right? There is a deal reached. So it's the way the market is. Best way, when you see that there is news coming like that, wait for the final outcome. And then if we see that deal reach, we can look for going long in this move. Okay, in that case you could see that the US-Iran war ended, and then the market might go completely the other way, right? If you look at that, on XAUUSD might be going up, WTI might be falling a lot, it might be just, or at least I would say that if the deal reach, then you could see oil might be coming $78 or below, if it at least not going to come to fill the gap, coming here potentially to this support area, and then could go back or range here. And if you look at the gold, that and euro dollar, some of the instrument that you can see now trying to push here back above. So therefore, looking at here on gold, from the news perspective, there is a spike here. Now, from the technical trading perspective, I would say that it's a good sell zone, but I will be waiting for the news to come up. All right. And in the meantime, and I believe that you guys enjoyed this session. I'm almost at the end of this session. If you look at that, we had our, today also have done 2 sessions. I still have some more time to trade. We'll be sharing any trade coming. Tomorrow also coming on live again to trade the market twice every single day. And if you enjoyed this session, don't miss out to stay connected by joining here. You can find link below this video for the premium GUI is open for some time. And also, I'll keep an update, you guys, for the next instrument that I will be looking at. Technically, it's a buy. I don't look at news, just read candles. You won't be able to always find that exact information by only looking at the candle, okay? Because you see that this spike is based on what has come out, okay, about the news on the potential, the deal reach. So there is an approval needed. So that has increased that volatility that you can avoid, or you can know from the candlestick pattern always. If you look at that, the market had a break below, was showing that there is a high probability to come down below. But what happened? The market has entirely broken back to the upside. Okay, hopefully better day. So we'll be looking at, wait for patiently for tomorrow's trading plan that you will be looking at. And I'll see you there again. Again, in the meantime, don't miss out to stay connected by joining. The link you can find below this video. That being said, thanks for joining here, and I'll see you again very soon trading live. Until that, stay well, stay happy. Before we go to that, also for those who are in the group, we have our robot group also opened currently. Especially, I can avoid this kind of breaking news using my robot scalping. That also a part of now in the group. So if you are there, you can check out the chat group where you can find more information using the scalping, because longer trade that I open and we grow, but at the same time, shorter trade also give us some relief or sudden spike that sometimes I like to do. So we'll see you there again trading. Until that, stay well, stay happy.